Hey there, welcome to the 10th episode of the T40's podcast, brought to you,
number 10.
Brought to you by the T40's. Anyway, I'll be hosting today's show. My name's Benson. I'm here with
Brian,
Michael,
and Alex. And we've got some interesting topics to discuss today. So, first of all, thanks for tuning in. If you have a question or comment about the show, you can always email us at podcast@tipping40s.com or leave us a voicemail at 218-666-8407. All right, so for today's show, I'll be doing a very special version of the Beer of the Week, and then we'll have a short, thank God, Bitcoin. Are we doing the Bitcoin update?
Yeah, we'll do the Bitcoin update, I guess.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
We have Oh God, Shut Up segment with Michael about Casey Anthony media circus.
Yeah.
I mean trial.
No, I'm on the quest for evidence.
Yeah, trying to learn.
There isn't any.
Then Alex is going to teach us about Felix the Cat, and Ryan is going to tell us about the new Protect IP Act.
It's actually Senate Bill 978.
Yeah, well,
Whatever.
That thing. And as always, we'll close out the episode with the most profitable movies of the week and the top 5 most wanted. Trademark, all rights reserved. So without further ado, I'll just go right into the Beer of the Week. The reason this one was different than usual is because someone sent us an email. And I'll read just part of that now. He said, recently I've been diagnosed with celiac disease, which means I can no longer eat wheat, barley, rye, etc.
So any food in America.
Yeah, I know, that sucks.
Yeah.
It also means I can't have normal beer. The 4 of you seem to drink enough to know what's good. I'm heading off to college soon, and I was wondering what recommendations you guys have for gluten-free beer, wine, or other stuff that doesn't have wheat or barley. So any advice you could give would be awesome.
Out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
Thank you, Brock. So thanks for the email, Brock.
That's a good email.
I gotta admit,
How's that stadium going?
What?
Never mind.
What?
Pokemon joke? Fuck you. Fucking idiot. Okay, so I gotta admit, I never had a gluten-free beer before.
Mm-hmm. I had one, and it wasn't great.
I think maybe I did at some point, but I just didn't realize it was a gluten-free beer.
I remember the name of it.
I tend to buy stuff a lot of the time just by picking it up
Based
and
on
going,
gluten.
I'm drinking this.
Based on pictures on the bottle.
That, No gluten, no
that
way.
happens a lot, actually.
Not mine.
So I decided to for Brock's, to help out Brock, and then for my own curiosity as well, to drink 3 different gluten-free beers and decide which one was the best. And the winner is just going to be the Beer of the Week.
Okay.
Whoever wins
So
the
what are the
gluten-free.
3 beers then?
So the 3 beers are Bard's Gold, which is by Bard's Tail Brewing Company or Beer Company in Utica, New York. Near Utica.
So do you have to draw a handmade map before you drink it? Like the video game?
No, you got to play a lute for people.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was a bad joke.
Number 2 was Red Bridge by Anheuser-Busch.
That's one I've had.
And also Estrella Dam Dara by Dam SA, and that's in Barcelona, Spain.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
That one's an import, but it didn't seem too uncommon. So I drank Bard's Gold first, and that had a 4.6% alcohol by volume, and its rating on Beer Advocate was C. And I gotta say, I did not like that beer at all.
No, you didn't.
No, it had this weird aftertaste. He tried some.
He let me try it. It was not good.
Yeah, it tasted acidic, like really acidic. And it also, the problem too is the sorghum malt, that's what they use instead of like wheat or barley or whatever. They use this stuff called sorghum malt, and it tasted weird. It's kind of like how when you drink a diet soda and it has like that taste in the bit, like that sharp
like fake
aftertaste.
sweet, like...
Well, the aftertaste, it doesn't go away. It didn't taste like that, but it had that weird aftertaste, like a beer aftertaste, and it didn't taste good at all. And I did not like it. It wasn't like disgusting, but it sure as hell wasn't good either. So I wouldn't buy that. Don't buy that.
Okay.
And then also I drank Red Bridge. That has a 4.0% alcohol by volume, and it also has a grade of C. And it was all right. It had a clean...
Yeah, when I had it, it wasn't great, but it was
it tasted really clean, and it had a clean finish, and pretty much that's the best thing I can say about it. Like, it's just... It was an easy beer to drink.
So watered down?
Yeah, well, it's Budweiser
Yeah.
brand, and Anheuser-Busch.
I thought
But,
it tasted better than Budweiser, though.
I actually did like it better than Budweiser. It's supposedly
amazing.
it's supposedly like an amber or red lager or whatever, but it's way too light to be. It didn't taste like anything. There was like, I don't know. It didn't have a weird off taste like the Bards did though, so it was okay. And then the last one I drank was Dara, the Estrella Dam Dara, and that one has 5.4%. So I actually had a little bit more, and it was actually. Oh yeah, just as a disclaimer though, this has gluten below 6 parts per million. I don't know if that means it's not gluten free or if it's still technically gluten free. So I don't know how much.
Again, O'Doul's has 0.5% alcohol.
Right, so it basically has nothing, but technically it still has it. So it's like
I don't know how that works in the medical field.
Yeah, I don't either.
I would imagine that little wouldn't be
6
that
parts.
bad,
Yeah, 6 parts per million
I don't
seems
know.
low. And its grade on Beer Advocate was C+, so it was the highest rated. And I gotta say, it wasn't bad. I kind of liked it. It tasted kind of like that Red Bridge a little bit. It was very like simple, but it had a little bit more spice to it, which probably has something to do with it being a Spanish beer.
Right.
A lot of the European beers have a little more flavor, I guess. But
I don't think they have more flavor. It's just that we over here in America have no flavor.
no, I mean they tend to spice their beers up more.
Yeah.
Though. And so it also had more carbonation, and so
That helped.
That helped. And it definitely was the best out of all 3 of them. So if you're able to have 6 parts per million of gluten, that's your choice. So Estrella Dam Dara is the beer of the week.
Cool.
But I do have a little more information before we go on. I hope that helps you out, Brock, so you can get drunk when you go to college.
There's always Everclear.
Everclear. Well,
That's grain now.
That's grain.
That's
yeah.
grain alcohol.
Here's what I was.
Would
Here's,
potato vodkas count?
Yeah.
Well, hey.
I don't know.
Hey, so listen, I did a little bit more research to find out, just for my own reasons, I wanted to know. But apparently there are choices for people who have a gluten-free diet as far as drinking goes. Apparently wine, rum, tequila, brandy, and a lot of other hard alcohols, except for wine, obviously, but they tend to be gluten-free
Yeah, I can see
inherently.
tequila be
Yeah.
gluten-free.
Yeah.
Tequila, yeah.
Hope you like margaritas.
Well,
And
that's
then-
what he's going to drink.
But most whiskeys apparently also lose their gluten despite their...
Being made from corn.
Yeah, apparently what happens is when they're distilled, they tend to lose the proteins. They change into something else, and so they end up being gluten-free.
Turn to
But,
gasoline.
The important thing to remember, though, is that when drinking wine and other things like that, the oak-aged barrels that they're stored in actually do contain those proteins. And so even though the wine itself is gluten-free, it can
barrels
become
maybe,
it can
Well,
become
wouldn't that
like
be the same
a
for
gluten
like whiskeys? Because they're stored in barrels too.
Well, yeah, I'm saying here's what it comes down to though. Like apparently a lot of people with celiac still experience symptoms when they drink these drinks,
Yeah.
and so there's clearly something bothering them. So if you're going to drink
Just go for
and you
tequila.
don't want to vomit a lot from getting sick from celiac disease, you should check with the manufacturer and make sure that you can drink it.
Yeah,
So that's
cool.
it. I'm done.
Fun. That was very factual.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get some info, and I got it. So
So we have a
are you going to do your Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
update?
real quick thing on Bitcoins.
Just do that all.
One quick thing on Bitcoin. So apparently no one has copyrighted the Bitcoin name.
Yes, they have.
Well, some guy decided to do it, and now there's a whole hubbub over who actually owns the Bitcoin trademark or copyright. Sorry.
So a random guy took the copyright.
Yeah, some lawyer's like, hey, this isn't copyright. I'm going to copyright it. Because and his prior art is like apparently he sent an email where he said Bitcoin in the
So this
email.
is the
And so
last-
that's why he's saying he's going to use it.
So this is the last Bitcoin update.
I don't know.
I hope so.
I'm gonna guess that ends in a settlement, or
I don't know.
You think?
I hope it ends in both of them just killing themselves because
that could happen too. You never know. All right, well, fair enough. It's good Bitcoining. Let's go on to Mike.
I think we have a voicemail.
yeah.
Well, yeah, we do have a voicemail. I'm sorry. We will play the voicemail right now.
Hey, this is the new train guy. Have to admit, my train was a fake. Pulled it up on YouTube.
Liar.
It is a conspiracy.
So,
Letting you
Trains,
guys know.
fake trains.
so just like 9/11, it was fake.
So his name is YouTube Train now.
YouTube train
right?
guy. That's in reference, of course, to last week. Another guy messaged us the second time we heard a train in the background, and so.
Well, if you notice in that voicemail, there's a train sound. But there's also like a wind sound. So obviously he blew into his phone.
It was good.
It was pretty impressive.
I was
it sounded
convinced.
good. Yeah.
I was totally convinced.
So
I think I wanted to be convinced, though. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
yes,
you wanted to believe.
I want to hear trains and everything.
But yeah. So thanks for clearing that up. I guess you should have just left it a mystery because we would have believed it
You
forever.
should have said, or was it?
Or
Yeah,
was it? Yeah, that would do it too. Like when they say the end and then there's a question mark pops up.
The end?
Oh, that's what good narratives do.
That's how,
Like Ghost Whisperer.
that's how you write a movie. All right, go on.
All right, so first off, just real quick, I don't want to act like I'm avoiding this. Someone wrote a really good criticism of the Bill of Rights piece that I did last week, which I think actually kind of sucked.
Your piece, not your criticism.
And specifically the Fourth Amendment, which I also thought was the worst part of my argument. Mainly, he just said that I just had a lot of aspects to the law wrong. So I can't talk into it to detail because of the time, but I'll try to give you a response in written. Actually, I'll just say that you're right on air because you are. You're right. So there you go. I don't have to write you anything now. So.
Well, what did he say?
That was his main reason.
He said that
He said he was
basically,
wrong about everything.
yeah, basically with the Fourth Amendment stuff, he agreed with me on most other things, but with that whole Indiana trial, he said that, one, I got the positioning of the judge wrong. Like, he wasn't a federal judge. So that was the first thing I got wrong.
Oh.
He was Indiana Supreme Court. The other thing is that people can still sue the cops. They just can't, like, threaten to kill them and stuff once they break in. So he could have sued them. It's just once they broke in, you can't attack them. You just let them beat you up and then get your cash later. Whatever. But yeah. Anyways, since we're on a time constraint, I need to talk about Casey Anthony. So this week I was at work and going to the bathroom, and my office suite shares bathrooms between the different offices. So these two women, one younger, one older, were saying, I heard the Casey Anthony verdict was coming in. By the way, this is the first time in 2 years at this office we have heard people talk about news in the hallway. So this is the first time. I'm completely serious.
Well, it's an important topic.
Yeah. So I realized that I had actively ignored a trial that seemed really important to people. Like, I knew nothing about it. So I go and take a shit, and I walk back to the office, and
That's the episode name.
Yeah, I go and take a shit. And a receptionist goes to me and goes, I can't believe they let her off. She was, like, really annoyed. So I said, is this that Casey Anthony thing? Because I haven't paid any attention to it. So she then goes to tell me in a somewhat exasperated fashion, like outside of her character completely, how this Casey Anthony girl left her baby to die and then went to go party for a month and didn't report the crime. I thought, maybe I need to do some research on this case and why she was found not guilty, because this woman, the receptionist seemed really mad. So I decided to first start with the regular people, because, a case is judged by a jury of peers. So I thought these would be a good way to find out maybe why this person was found not guilty. So here's Angry Grandpa.
What? Guilty! Oh my God, I give up. What kind of goddamn country we fucking live in? When whores, when goddamn brother had their goddamn Peter, then the goddamn take care of their own fucking
What is
youngins.
this?
Get off my lawn.
Innocent! Man, where the fuck Florida? You goddamn people in Florida!
What was that?
So that was a person reacting to the verdict. This may have been staged, but a lot of people liked the video, so even if it was or wasn't. I looked at other videos, though, and it doesn't seem like it was staged. But anyways, because this guy has an Angry Grandpa channel. But he seemed mad. And, but the only evidence I got from him is that she was a whore, and that something about getting her rocks off, something about Peters. So that's the only two things. But that doesn't really make a case. So I decided to look for maybe a different perspective from a different individual. So this is a man in a pink room.
Man in a pink room?
Yep.
I lost my dog years ago, right? For about 3 days. 3 days I lost my dog, right? For 3 days I nonstop looked for that dog. It was a dog. It wasn't my child. It was my dog. I did not go out and drink. I did not go out and party. I had no desire to do nothing but find that dog.
Thank you,
That's the thing about this fucking case that people are so pissed about. She goes out and parties. Who knows when it was? Just some random picture on Facebook. Was it when the kid was gone?
Point.
It doesn't fucking matter at all.
Yeah. So because he looked for his dog, this Casey girl should look for his baby. That kind of makes sense. I mean, that makes
They have
sense.
a responsibility for the dog and the baby.
But it's not enough to stand up to the whole beyond a reasonable doubt thing. So, okay, so the peers are not working. So I need to go up to the experts. So I'm going to TV now. So first we're going to start off with Nancy Grace.
Oh, God.
If there's one thing that defines the prosecution's case against Top Mom Casey Anthony, it's those now
Top Mom.
infamous 31 days. 31 days when little Caylee has vanished and her mom, her own mother, goes on living life as if nothing happened.
So sorry, I just got to say, I was in the
that's my
office
message.
at
You
work.
fuck you and kiss my ass.
I was in the office at work, and the sales floor that's like right across from my cubicle, basically, they have the TV on, and this was on headline news, obviously, when the story broke. And Nancy Grace was like frothingly angry.
Yeah.
She was like, she was like,
The devil is dancing was one thing I heard her say.
she was,
Yeah.
she was like, every time that she said not guilty, she said it with like such disdain that like,
Not guilty.
yeah, she was like, she was so close to just basically walking off camera.
Yeah, she, Nancy
It ruins her
Grace-
credibility in a way. I mean, it
well,
does.
Yeah, what little she has left.
So-
but
One of the
thing you
quotes
might-
that I remember her saying is like, the only reason this verdict came true is because people aren't rational.
Oh my God, Nancy Grace. The thing about Nancy Grace too is that you have to understand is that she's a massive victims advocate, and so
Right.
she is like in cases like this, she's literally at the exact polar end of the scale that you could possibly be
Yeah.
at. Like,
She doesn't believe in due process.
So,
not really.
No.
No.
So one thing I found strange with that is she keeps calling Casey Anthony a top mom.
A tot mom, I thought.
No, top mom.
Top?
Top, like
I thought it
top
was
mom.
tot, as in like it was a tot. Like
No, top mom. Like she's top mom.
Like Top Chef.
If she thinks, but then she says that she killed her, so I don't know why. Oh, she's being condescending.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I got it. Never mind.
Wait, Nancy Grace is
Yeah.
being condescending.
So, anyways, 31 days is a long time to not report a killing. But again, it's not any physical real evidence. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not a smoking gun. So I decide, let's go the psychological evidence route. Okay, so here's Dr. Drew Pinsky to provide his evidence.
Great.
The only fact that we know for sure in the Casey Anthony case is that Casey Anthony is a spectacular liar. Lies, 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 lies.
I recommend people to watch this video link because what they do is every time he says lies, they zoom in, they do a pop zoom on her face. So it's like, pot lies, 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 lies. So
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, she did get convicted of lying to the police.
Well, yes. Okay. So the
she-
woman's a
she-
liar.
okay.
I agree. But being a liar doesn't make you a murderer. I mean, at last I heard Lloyd Blankfein hasn't killed anyone except, or anything really, except for Greece's economy. But that doesn't tell me anything. So here's this other guy from this Nancy Grace special. It's some orange guy. He's orange. I figure he's an expert because he's on TV. They don't tell me if he is or not. So it doesn't matter. Just play him.
Well, prosecutors say the answer is right on Casey's left shoulder. She's got that Bella Vita tattoo. Beautiful life. The life that you can't have if you're a single mom caring for a 2-year-old girl.
So wait.
What
You're
was
a single mom
Tattoo
caring for a
your
baby.
murderer.
correlation.
If you're having a great life as a single mom and you have your shit together, then you are obviously a murderer. That's what he's saying.
No, she's saying he's okay. And you know what? I agree that no single mother could ever be happy.
So what?
But it still doesn't prove she killed her.
God damn it.
Maybe
Retarded.
someone. It's so stupid. But maybe someone else just killed Caylee, and she was really pumped when it happened. You know, like when your car gets totaled, it's tough, but your insurance gets you a new one, so it's kind of cool.
Well, one thing I was discussing with my friend is that we said there is a possibility too that she fucked up and accidentally killed the
Oh yeah,
baby.
a kid
Yeah.
drowned, and she
And
just
so-
buried the kid.
Yeah, and so
That's all
she
it
was
is.
like, well, shit, I'm getting
Yeah.
rid of the body now, you know, because...
Well, I'm just saying maybe she just looked at it as like a really late-term abortion. You know, just like, oh, new lease on life, you know, because I can't be happy.
Mr. Show sketch. What's a abortion?
So, okay, that didn't work out. TV's not working out. So now I'm going to go with an actual lawyer.
Which lawyer?
all I could find is Marsha Clark. And I know she lost the O.J. Simpson trial, but I'm getting desperate here. So here's the first clip.
This is number 6, right?
Yeah.
That's why we have a standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. But if a jury is simply looking for a reason to doubt, they will always find one.
Okay. So this is interesting.
Beyond. Okay.
So any case could have reasonable doubt, including ones without any forensic evidence. But let's have Marsha Clark go on. Sorry.
Please go on, Marsha.
Most cases are circumstantial evidence. That's so not unusual. And nevertheless, juries, most of the time, find their way to a conviction when the circumstantial evidence adds up.
That's not how the legal system.
No. You know what? We've been wrong. Okay? This lawyer, this legal expert, is telling me that circumstantial evidence is sufficient evidence. So you know what? I take it all back. Fuck this murderer. She is a murderer. She's terrible. She is top mom. So I just gotta say, I've been going through a lot of stress lately because of this. I want justice, you know. I tried to leave my light on a couple nights ago, but I still just feel empty inside.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking,
drinking.
how can justice be served?
Might be part of it.
How can justice be served?
This is the last one.
Yeah.
She's a high school dropout, little work experience, and she will wear a mantle of infamy as she enters a world where some people hate her enough to say they want her killed.
Oh, thank God. Someone's going to kill her.
Oh, I see.
You killed someone.
So the social stigma for the rest of her life will be sufficient punishment?
No, I think someone's going to murder her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, be like a
And then
martyr.
not report the body for 30
I think the
days.
chances...
and party and get a tattoo because they're a single mother.
I think the chances of that happening are not necessarily high, but they're also not that low.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it will, but I could see it happening.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
I'm kind of pissed that you did this segment because I made a segment about fucking people getting kidnapped and shit on the news. And then if people just stop listening to it and paying attention to it, maybe it'll fucking go away. Because I always just pick one kid out of thousands to get kidnapped. And like, for instance, this case. People where I work never talk about the news. No one cares. But I've heard people all the time talking about this. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
I was completely...
Also, I don't think she killed her. It was an accident. I mean, it was her fault that the kid died, but it wasn't murder.
See, I think maybe she did it. I just don't care. And
Yeah, well,
I didn't pay
me.
attention
I
to
don't
this
care.
case the whole time. But what I found is...
It's one kid.
Angry people, man, if they... You know, I just learned that, like...
Well, the media really puts it out to make her as a murderer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because it's a great story. I mean, a mother killing her child, that's sensationalist, and it's going to, sell advertising.
She's going to be rich now, so...
anyways.
She'll get her book deals, and apparently already Playboy asked her if she wanted to post.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Good job,
I hope
that is not a joke.
I hope it's
That's
like the
completely true.
Beatles album cover that was banned with all the babies' heads around them. Remember that one with like the rotting meat? That'd be good.
Actually, no, wait. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I don't think Playboy asked her. It was...
Probably Penthouse.
Swank.
It might have been... Actually, it might have been a porn.
Okay.
It might have been
That makes
Vivid
sense.
or something. I think it was Vivid. So, my bad. But I think Vivid asked her if she wanted to be a porn star.
So, anyways, I'm glad there's a possibility that people will take their own initiative and demand that justice is served in this country. Unless it's, a banker. Or
Against
a politician
babies? We're trying to get the babies now.
Yeah, think of the children.
babies. Where's Caylee? All right, I'm done with this.
All right. Oh, sorry. So we're going to move on now to Teach Me with Alex. He's going to be teaching us about Felix the cat, right?
Play my sound.
Play your sound? All right.
Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Felix
Bag of
the
tricks.
cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You laugh so much your sides will ache, your heart will go pit-a-pat. Watch and feel.
So watching Felix...
the wonderful cat.
Yeah, so they tell you in the intro that you're going to laugh so hard before you've even seen
That
it.
you're going to have heart arrhythmias?
Yeah.
Heart palpitations. This is
You're
bad
going
for
to laugh so hard it could cause
we-
you to have a major
I think we should
coronary.
put a disclaimer: if you have heart palpitations, don't listen to this segment
Yeah,
because
you
you may
may-
die.
You made me laugh.
Okay, so Felix the cat, he's one of he's possibly the oldest cartoon TV character there is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was cartoon comic strips and shit drawn before him and everything, but he's a little black cat. He was created in 1919 by these two guys, actually, Pat Sullivan and Otto Mesmer. Now, these guys, they both argue that they were the original creator. Pat Sullivan is an Australian guy he owns the rights, or he did before he died, to Felix the Cat. So it's all his rights. He says he created them, and then he hired this Mesmer guy to actually draw the fucking cartoons and put them on TV. And then apparently, I don't know, I couldn't figure out which one it is because everything contradicts each other and stuff. They say that Pat Sullivan drew some of them because his handwriting, actually, handwritten things. It was when he originally came out, it was silent, so they had to handwrite all the text and stuff. So it apparently looks like his handwriting. But this Otto Mesmer guy says he created it from all this stuff. He has lots of good evidence, but Otto Mesmer is American, Pat Sullivan is Australian. All the American publications say Otto Mesmer created them. All the other ones say the other guy created them. So I don't. I'm just going to say it's.
So they basically co-created and then they tried to fuck.
I'm guessing that Pat Sullivan said, "Hey, you should make this," and then the other guy made it himself. But Pat Sullivan guy said, "You should create a character like this." I don't know. It's basically Charlie Chaplin the cat is what it originally was. So originally he was silent and there was no sound at all, and he made a lot of money back in 1919 with some little films and stuff. It was, I watched some of them. Pretty boring. I mean, back in the day, that would have been awesome, I guess.
Moving picture was new back then.
It wasn't people; it was actually drawn. So that was like, whoa, what the hell's going on here, man? Some moving drawn pictures. So then he lasted about 7 years till Steamboat Willie came out, which had sound with Mickey Mouse, and then
no one gave a shit.
Felix the Cat started dying, and no one cared anymore. And these two creators were like, fuck that, we're not putting sound in Felix. We don't want that at all. So they had
move.
Yeah, so then Disney's like, okay. They just started making way more amazing ones. And then they're like, about 1930, like, we should start putting sound because we're starting to lose a lot of money with Felix. He's not doing too good. Actually, before that, I skipped something. Felix the Cat was actually, they say he's the first ever broadcasted thing on television. It was just a papier-mâché doll of him. It was just like their test broadcast to figure out how it's going to work.
Right.
So what they actually did was they broadcasted him for 2 hours a day, or I think it was 2 minutes a day for 2 years straight, or something like that. So they just did a test of them every single day, and people weren't really watching because it was a test one. But he was the first thing ever broadcast, really. So he's pretty old. So then the whole 1930s one failed when they started putting sound in them. I watched those two. Compared to Mickey Mouse, they're pretty bad. I mean, back in the day, they still would have been good, I guess. I don't know, but Mickey Mouse is still good from the 30s. Yeah. I don't understand how. So then after that, in like 1953, some guy said, "Hey, let's make a new Felix the Cat show," and that's what that intro you heard was from. Okay. It was a pretty sweet intro, not really. And then they're like, Felix the Cat's kind of it's just a cat, and there's like no characters and stuff. He needs something with him, so he decided to make give him a magic bag. So it looks like a purse. It looks exactly like a purse.
That came out later.
So then he opens the bag and he could pull anything out of it. Like the very first episode, it shows him pulling an escalator out of it.
Escalator.
Yes, and then there's like the main bad guy is like Dr. Wily from Mega Man. Looks exactly like him. He's like Einstein, pretty much. This is the exact same guy. He has this mustache you can't talk through and wants to steal Felix's bag the entire time.
It's a pretty amazing bag. I mean, you're fucking God.
It's a bag of holding.
He pulls a kangaroo out of it and shit.
Yeah. And pull out an ICBM and just blow it up.
Why would he ever have any problems? Why wouldn't he just constantly pull out money and just buy everything he wants?
I need a hooker.
Yeah, I saw another episode where
you don't even have to get money. You just pull the hooker out of the
bag.
Pull the hooker
out of it.
Yeah, I saw another episode where
How does that work?
He created a tree that grows 18 karat gold. For some reason he chose 18 karat gold. I don't know why.
Why not 24 or 30?
Yeah, so
he can't master the science.
Yeah, Felix is considered kind of like an asshole character. Like, he dicks people around a lot.
He's a dick.
Because when I was a kid, I used to go to my great grandma's house, and she had Felix the Cat on VHS. I'm like, well, VHS didn't come out till way later, so it's not like she bought it when she was a kid or something. She's like, I remember him. Like, I don't fucking know. I mean, there's still Mickey Mouse and shit around. I mean, is she really so old that she's like, Felix was first? I don't know when she was born. She's like, I'm not buying that Mickey Mouse shit. He was the original. So I used to watch them when I was a kid. I thought they were all right. They just felt really old.
Yeah,
they still do feel kind of old. Even like if you watch Tom and Jerry, they came out at the same time, 50s and stuff. It doesn't seem that old. You could watch that right now. It feels like it came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry's good.
That shit lasts.
Yeah.
So Felix is, he doesn't age very well, and it's really not that funny. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, but he's really not that much of an asshole. If you watch like Tom and Jerry are 10 times the asshole
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
Good old Tex
I mean, and
Avery.
Felix's voice is almost exactly the same as Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it is.
They didn't
Yeah.
try to
Very
make
high.
something original. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of just shitting on Felix the whole time, but just from watching it, it's what I've seen. Also, they made a 1988 film about him, cartoon film, and it's on YouTube, and I watched the first 10 minutes. It involved a princess getting captured by robot aliens, and her tear falls out of her face.
Robot aliens?
Yeah, and her tear flies around and talks when she cried when she got captured, and it finds Felix and tells Felix to come save her. I stopped watching right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch that anymore.
Yeah, that's completely
So
insane.
I just want to ask you guys, what's your favorite asshole cartoon character? Mine's gonna be Tom. I love Tom from Tom and
I
Jerry.
like Roadrunner.
Roadrunner?
Roadrunner's a pretty big asshole.
He's kind of a troll.
Yeah, he is a troll. That's why he just fucking does shit. And
I don't know which character would be my favorite, but my definite favorite moment is when in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when Mickey fucks over the
yeah,
because you never see that ever. Like he completely is he's a
Think you
huge
better
dick
give him
to
the spare.
Yeah,
I'm sure you want
and he
it.
fucks him. It's like, well, that's amazing. They managed to put Mickey and Bugs in
Well,
the same.
there's
part.
also Steamboat Willie Mickey when he steps on the cat's head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Steamboat Willie, he's a huge asshole.
I think Olive Oil's kind of a dick, actually. She always gets herself in trouble, talks to Bluto. Stop talking to that asshole.
I know. If you dislike him so much, stop hanging around with him.
Okay, so we got some questions here. The first one, this is from Nick. It says, "Why is the Felix the Cat movie a cartoon on acid?" I think
Well,
you kind of touched it, but was there any-
it's kind of animated. Like, have you ever seen the movie Secret of Nim? It's a really good animated movie. It has like all this like gunk and liquid. It just has that art style of all this weird shit in the background all the time.
Very weird, like,
so it's kind of like that.
yeah,
It's kinda like-
animations.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff happens with the background
Yeah.
and things like that. And Felix,
That's what it
I
kind of looked
remember
like.
that.
So
second question, this was from Josh. What is your favorite cartoon cat and why?
Tom, I already said.
Tom, you said Tom?
Because he's a fucking asshole. Like, the thing about Tom is he could have captured Jerry so many times. Like, I see an episode where he catches him, he puts him on a pool table, and he uses him as a cue ball just because he fucking hates him. Before I hit you, fuck you, asshole. I'm just gonna hit you.
My question is, have you or anyone you've known ever owned a Felix the Cat clock?
Clock? Actually, no. That's they always show those all the time. But yeah,
I've seen maybe one or two people I knew with them, but I've never.
I remember in school, one of my teachers, I think it was like second grade, had one on the wall.
Yeah.
It was really creepy,
yeah.
actually.
Apparently, his
They are
merchandise
kinda
did really well back in the day. So,
My question is, did you watch any of the 90s version of Felix the Cat? Because I vaguely remember that as a kid, and it was terrible. Like, 'cause it was like Extreme Felix.
I actually did not watch anything past that 1988 movie.
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
It's completely insane. Like, just it makes no sense.
Okay, imagine a bag of tricks, and then he pulls a skateboard out there. There it is.
So
He
he's,
did it. There's the new Felix the Cat.
He's Poochie.
Yeah, he kind of is like Poochie, actually. Or if you ever saw that cartoon Bonkers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a lot like Bonkers. Yeah.
You just brought back some bad memories.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, ready to move on.
Terrible.
All right, so
That's a sound clip we need.
Ryan's going to be the next Teach Me, and I'm going to give him. I ran him like 100 things before. I got torture.
Torture?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he has
History of
to
torture.
teach us about torture. He can just talk about political stuff.
No,
like
it's-
that.
Well, it's not torture.
Like torture devices and stuff like that.
Interrogation.
No.
Well, there's like torture devices and
Torture
stuff
is
we
a
can talk
vague
about.
term. It doesn't necessarily mean interrogation.
I'm just going to talk about ABC Disney, or the ABC Family Channel, because that's pretty much torture.
So Bonkers.
Shut up.
I'll make you watch iCarly again. All right. So now that was good. Let's move right on to Ryan talking about the Protect IP Act, or what is it called?
Senate Bill 978.
I want to learn about how we're going to be felons.
No. Okay, well, first off, got to get this out of the way. I'm not a lawyer. Don't listen to anything I say.
Oh, wait.
That said...
Don't look at me. I'm just a dog. Come on, that was prime.
How would I know that?
You're terrible at the soundboard.
How would I know what you wanted me to play when
I don't
you point
know.
at me?
Okay, so yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but that said, I do find copyright law interesting, and I did spend some time researching this, so I'm going to try to give you the best picture I can on this.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about
Serious time.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Senate Bill 978 and basically how it pertains to streaming videos on the internet like Let's Plays. Okay. We had a user ask about this. this is basically what we're doing. Also, it pertains to us, so it's probably a good idea we get some background knowledge on it. The title of Senate Bill 978 is, quote, a bill to amend criminal penalty provisions for copyright infringement of a copyright and for other purposes. To be clear, this is not the Protect IP Act. That is Senate Bill 968.
Right.
978 is a different bill. Okay. This bill was introduced by Senator Amy Klobuchar, a Democrat from Minnesota, with co-sponsors Chris Coons, a Democrat from Delaware, and John Cornyn, a Republican from Texas. So it's a co-sponsored bill, bipartisan.
Yeah, bipartisan. Those are the best bills.
Yeah. The bill has been introduced and gone through the Senate Judiciary Committee, but has not been brought up in the full Senate yet. So it's just kind of sitting there right now. I don't know when they plan on bringing that up, but that's what it is. Before we start discussing 978, I have to give some background on copyright law, because it's important to understand this to get a full idea of what the bill does. First off, law split into criminal and civil law. To make some broad generalizations, criminal law is for large crimes like theft and murder. It involves jail time and is handled by the government. Civil law basically covers smaller crimes. It doesn't involve jail time and is handled by the entity who the crime was perpetrated against.
Right.
Or Judge Judy.
Or Judge Judy. For the most part, copyright law is civil law. Okay, that means that if copyright owners has to file a lawsuit against you, and then the worst that can happen is a fine, no jail time.
Right.
As all of you are listening probably know, here at Tipping 40s, we make Let's Play videos and stream them on the internet along with other stuff. We basically record copyrighted works, video games, movies, whatever, and stream them on the internet to the public. As copyright law currently stands, a copyright holder could come and sue the shit out of us, okay, because we use copyrighted work. It doesn't matter that we generate our own content on top of it. They could, press a lawsuit.
We're beyond use of parody or acts, whatever it's called.
Fair use is a different area, and I could talk about that for hours. It's kind of a gray area, depending on what you do.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance of a lawsuit going through on what we do.
Because we use excessive use or something like
that. Again, it can go on for a while. Anyway, what Senate Bill 978 does is make the streaming of content a criminal felony. Okay. Currently, copying and distributing the works are a felony, but streaming a work is a misdemeanor.
Is this only video or audio as well?
It's any protected copyrighted work. So video, audio, text, anything. So basically, streaming right now is a misdemeanor. All the bill would do is take the existing criminal copyright infringement penalties and apply them to streaming. Basically, you just harmonize the law, really. So everything would be that.
So again, you're saying streaming. That means only stuff that's being streamed live, not videos posted afterwards?
No, it's streaming.
It's basically the loss is public performance, so that's a quote, and I'll get into that in a second. The intent of the bill was to stop the online streaming of copyrighted works, basically TV and film, because there are sites out there where you can watch, HBO movies on the site, and they get around by saying it's streaming, we're not the content host, whatever.
Right.
The problem with this bill is that the language is very broad and vague, and it creates problems for other works besides the targeted streaming of television movies. Senate Bill 978 inserts a bunch of legal language into United States Code, Title 17, Chapter 5, Section 506, which defines copyright infringement. So the bill itself does not actually exist; it would just amend current code. The bill has a lot of legalese. If you want to read about it, there's going to be a link in the show notes because I'm not going to talk about them. But basically, the sum of the bill, you need to do the following 6 things to get busted for the law. Right. First, number 1, you need to know that copyright law forbids unauthorized streaming.
Can we know that?
2, decide that we're doing it anyway.
Yep.
3, with the intent of us gaining money. 4, we have to stream 10 or more copyrighted works without permission. And 5, do it during the 180-day period. Now, so far, this fits pretty much any LPer on the internet.
Yeah.
Anyone who tries to do it. However, you also need to do 6. Charge consumers at least $2,500 or more to access the stream, or make $2,500 or more illegally by streaming these videos, or
$2,500 in what time frame?
Yeah, the 180-day period.
Oh, okay.
Or have a fair market license fee for those streams totaling more than $5,000. Now, the inclusion of those final steps is crucial. Okay, streaming 10 videos in a 180-day period isn't enough to trigger the law. You have to make the specific monetary amounts of money. In addition to that, since it would be a criminal offense, a federal DA needs to take up that case and show that you caused those specific amounts of damages. To quote Caylee, who I guess is a lawyer, scholar, in an article I read, he says, quote, any federal district attorney that thinks it's wise to bring a criminal case against kids for running a profitable YouTube channel is probably committing career suicide. It would be almost exactly like a federal DA prosecuting kids for ripping DVDs or dubbing VHS tapes back in the day.
Yeah. So what they're really going after is
they're going after the big guys
streaming movie websites.
Okay.
Additionally, as mentioned earlier, the copyright holders could be suing people right now for this very thing that they've had if they wanted to in the much stricter civil copyright court.
And I don't think they do because it's a form of advertising. And it's too much money to bother.
That's something that I'll talk about that in a second. And again, it's also rare for criminal cases to go forward without civil cases being pressed first.
Right.
For terms of copyright. Finally, there's the ambiguity of the bill itself. The wording is very poor in the bill, and I've had several sources say, like lawyer sources say, it's probably not going to fly on that. The bill requires the prosecutor to be willfully infringing. Does a 12-year-old kid uploading a video to YouTube know he's breaking copyright law? How can you prove that? I mean,
right. How can you prove anyone knows?
Yeah. What about the 10 or more public performances by electronic means? Is that like 10 views by one person, 1 view by 10 people? Does different videos count? How about that? How are the monetary amounts calculated?
Per person? Is it per
entity?
entity?
Per person, per video?
Per video?
What about the fair use rights with regard to reviews, critiques, educational instructions, and parodies, which are what many LPs fall under? Mm-hmm. There's also these are things that, basically the law is shitty. And then there's the whole idea of why, again, since the criminal suits rarely go on without the civil suits, do video game companies want to prosecute kids for free advertising?
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the question, for example, I watch video streams of video game competitions, fighting game competitions specifically. And a lot of these fighting game competitions have many sponsors, like ones I watch, Mad Catz, Capcom actually sponsored it. But these streams have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of viewers, and they make money. Mm-hmm. So while Capcom sponsors the events, will they sue for the streams?
I don't probably think not. They probably get permission. For use.
Those people may have permission. I don't know how they work.
So these are completely different than what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking they're going completely after movie websites because people watch the movies instead of buying them.
Yeah, that was the intent of the bill to go after movie sites. But the thing is, they could have said specifically streaming of television and film, but they didn't do that. They said public performances of copyrighted work. Mm-hmm. So the bill basically right now it's sitting in the Senate. I don't know if it'll get picked up because there's a lot of shit going down right now with pertaining to the budget and whatnot. But really, if this bill does get passed as it currently stands, it's really not going to do too much.
Yeah, so basically, don't advertise our show in any way because we have to leave our revenues right where they're at about.
Us here at T40's, we make money from blip advertising.
Yeah.
But we don't make enough for those monetary gains.
Currently.
But
if we grew...
Well, then we just turn off advertising.
We turn it on somewhat, have caps.
We could just be felons,
Yeah.
We would just watch the number and be like, nope.
Again, this would have to be prosecuted by a DA. And mainly...
There's thousands of people they'd have to pick from randomly.
Yeah, I doubt that they're going to go after. So that's an overview of Senate Bill 978. I don't know if you have questions about it.
No, I think you were very thorough.
Yeah, that was
tried to
good information.
Give a brief overview.
You were much better than Ars Technica or fucking Engadget on that, shockingly. The blogger community
the main thing that it goes down...
he did research, that's why.
The main thing that it goes down to is... Well, it goes down to the civil cases actually being prosecuted, and it goes down to fair use. It's a gray area.
Yeah, fair use needs to be defined
could go,
more.
If it went to a court, it could go either way.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, hope you people like LPs or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, that
was interesting.
Yeah, I liked that one. Let's go over to the movies of the week.
All right.
Top 3.
Time to pick our top
grossing.
3 grossing movies of next week.
Piece of paper on that.
Yes, this is going to be for Friday, July 15th.
Well, what happened last week?
I will tell you.
Okay.
So,
and what are the movies that are coming out real quick?
Okay, so I'll just tell people what the movies are coming out so you can think of their picks right now.
Yeah.
So the movies coming out next Friday are Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2, and Winnie the Pooh new animated movie. And I looked these up on Rotten Tomatoes, and Winnie the Pooh is only an hour and 3 minutes long.
Yeah, it's really
gonna
really
pay full
short.
money for that shit or what? That's fucking
They
bullshit.
put a bunch of short films in front of it and shit. Yeah, it's really, really short. Yeah, I think the length has like 75 minutes.
Okay, so from last week, the money they made was Transformers was number 1 with $47 million. Horrible Bosses was number 2 with $28 million. And Zookeeper was 3rd with $21 million.
So Zookeeper did worse than we all.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what's interesting? I read this morning the trendings like on Deadline Hollywood, And they said that was about where they thought Zookeeper was going to make. So we just were completely wrong in what we thought that movie was going to make.
Kevin James.
We thought like Paul Blart in that fucking Grown-ups movie.
Right.
So now maybe he's going downhill finally. Fuck.
No, actually, they said that he actually pulled the money in because the movie itself, like, people saw it because of him, not because of the fucking...
I hate America.
Like, a lot of people thought that the movie looked like shit.
God damn it, Kevin James.
So,
interesting.
So Transformers won again, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
Horrible Bosses was number 2, and me and Benson actually...
What was that?
I don't know.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Me and Benson actually saw Horrible Bosses yesterday. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I went in thinking that it would probably be like kind of cliche movie because it's like, the idea is funny and you could see how it would be funny, but it didn't seem like something that would really be out of the ordinary.
Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, and the other guy's named Jason Sybeck or something?
Sudeikis.
That guy was kind of funny. I like that guy.
He was actually good. But I actually really liked it. I thought it was fantastic. The movie was well written, and not only that, the jokes were very unusual. Like they had a lot of original jokes that didn't seem like they would be in that movie.
Right.
So it was better than I thought it would be. It was actually really good.
I actually almost went and saw it last night and then didn't.
There's only one bad thing I can say about it. It's not bad because it's funny, but it's bad in the sense that it's just like, seriously, Charlie Day plays the same exact character as he is in Always Sunny.
Oh, that's two bad things. We just sit in the front row because the theater was packed.
That was also a
Tempting
big
Marketplace. All right, so that means Mike and Ryan got one right, which is Transformers last week, and me and Benson got all of them
0.
wrong.
Yeah.
So that puts me and Benson and Ryan at 18-9 overall, and Mike are at 15-12. So.
Okay.
Making
I'm
a
still way
comeback.
behind.
So
he's working his way back.
I'll just say my picks first since I didn't write anything down.
Yeah.
I was going to do Harry Potter first, Winnie the Pooh second, and Transformers third.
That's what I'm doing.
I got slightly different. Harry Potter, Transformer, Winnie the Pooh.
That's what I have.
Oh, interesting.
So Transformer still has the Michael Bay factor.
I just think that
There needs to be a kids movie, is what I think.
I think that that Winnie the Pooh will do well to a point, but I think that with Harry Potter coming out,
I think it's going to hurt it. I don't
a
know why
lot,
they're
a lot of
against
kids
it.
who are like
it's the same
fairly young.
weekend. That's the
I
way
know they're
did it.
different age groups, but they are and they aren't because I could see a lot of kids around 10 or something being Harry Potter fans and going to see
Winnie the Pooh
movie.
is for really young kids.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is because like Harry Potter, it's the same age group. They got to see.
It's
one
weird
or two
though. Like
movies.
I saw a review of Winnie the Pooh, like not a review, but a commercial. Yeah, a commercial for it on TV, and it was all testimonials from adults saying like it's great to see Winnie the Pooh again. This makes me feel like so
Winnie
they're,
the Pooh's
what
all
a
right.
They're all
weird-
man
well, I love
If
Winnie
that's
Pooh
the
when I was
case
a
too,
kid.
then I'm even more right. I would say because the chances of those adults going to that instead of Harry Potter are low though.
Well, Winnie the Pooh's not relevant now, so like they have to have these adults bring their kids and say like, "Hey, they have to champion this movie to their kids."
I remember reading this book when I
who
was
watch
a kid.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, Winnie the Pooh has some of the best, I think Winnie the Pooh has some of the best Disney characters, like Tigger and Eeyore. Dude, there's no
Eeyore's
cartoon character
great.
like Eeyore, ever. There won't be.
Prozac.
The complete loser. Complete depressing failure.
Yeah, he's pathetic. I've been told many times that I'm too much like Eeyore.
Yeah.
You're not, dude, Eeyore is way worse than... Eeyore is...
You don't have a penis nailed to you, like a fake penis. Like, oh, I don't have a penis.
Well, then they have Tigger. He's the exact opposite, so...
Tigger's like maniac.
Tigger
always gets him in trouble, yet everyone loves him. It makes no sense. He's like a manic cokehead.
Massive, some kind of... No, he acts like he's on PCP all the time.
Yeah, he does things beyond his strength. Like bouncing around. Like,
Anybody gonna see Harry Potter?
No.
No, I don't give a shit about Harry Potter.
Didn't see the first 10.
I saw one of the later ones. I saw one of the later ones, and it was watchable but not good.
But you acted in one of them.
Are they bad or good?
All of them.
They're really meaty.
The first one's bad. It's straight up bad. The
I've
first
heard that.
one is a bad movie.
Actually,
I've seen the third one, the fifth one, and the sixth one. The third one was actually not bad. The fifth one was a terrible movie.
Are
The
those
sixth
books
one was
done yet?
whatever.
yeah, the books are done.
The books are done, so no more Harry Potter after this. We're done with it.
Hopefully.
She's
They may
thinking,
pull a Halo.
She's thinking about expanding the universe of Harry
she
Potter.
totally will.
Also, I was looking at the
totally
IMDb on this movie, and I was clicking on the characters. They're always only in the Harry Potter movies, like Emma Watson, I think her name, and Daniel Radcliffe, and the other guy. Ron Weasley.
Benson.
Yeah. They're all like set up to be in like 4 movies after this, so they can finally do other shit. So I don't know if they're.
Yeah.
I barely hear that Ron Weasley guy's the best actor of all of them. But
Emma Watson's really being pushed to be like an A-list actress because guys
She's the
have
next Tom
boners
Hanks.
for her for whatever reason.
The next Tom Hanks.
The next Tom. Oh yeah.
With them all for LaBouffe.
All right, so that's what we got for the movies.
So top 5.
Yeah, let's talk about the top 5. So you sent these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want me to start at 5?
Backwards.
5, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fat states.
So yeah, fat states. I copy the link.
So this is an article about obesity rates in states.
Yeah, so basically it just shows like that Colorado is the only one under 20%
obesity rate.
Yeah, obesity rate.
So what's the guess? What do you think is going to be the highest?
Highest obesity rate? Alabama.
Yeah.
It's
2.
It was
Mississippi or
is it
something?
Mississippi.
Yeah, it's Mississippi. 34.4% of people.
Louisiana's
are
high too.
fatty.
Isn't it?
It's for that southern home cooking.
Louisiana's 31.6.
Southern home cooking.
Tennessee and West Virginia.
Where's Arizona at?
We're pretty bad.
Arizona's like top like 12 basically. It's tied for 12.
No, it's not.
Yeah, look, it's right there.
I remember looking at this.
It's tied with these 3 states. It's like 15th or something like that.
I think it was like 27 or something. I counted them. I did. Yeah.
If you count the other way.
From the top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean,
I'm sorry.
27.
Yeah.
I don't think
Number
if you
1
count
is
the other way. I don't
Okay,
think
so we're going from most fat.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it would be like 27. No, it would be like 30 something.
Yeah.
Just look at the link in the show notes because they don't know what
But
they're
anyways,
talking about.
you know what? Arizona, 25.4% obesity rate.
Still high.
Still high. But that's including Native Americans and all of Mesa. So
Mesa.
Which is one of the fattest cities in the country. So we're not doing too bad.
So there was like a stat in there that said like in 1995 or something like that, there was I think 10 or something states that were under 20%. Now there's only 1.
That was 1, and it's barely hanging on.
Yeah.
19.8%.
I remember seeing there's an animated GIF I believe on Wikipedia that shows the United States based on state, and it just like it shows it from like 1970 to like 2010, and the obesity rates in each of the states, and like it just slowly
it's crazy.
Slowly gets
it's like this in lots of other parts of the world too. It's just bad.
It's just our food is not food anymore.
It's also our
calories.
entertainment is far less physical.
Yeah, that's true. Jobs are less manual.
So
too.
good job, states, being fat.
Okay, so number 4.
Yeah. So multiracial baby dolls.
I just found this morning. The Colorado Department of Human Services. This must be why they're so skinny. They've proposed that all daycare centers have dolls available to represent the 3 different races. Because there's only 3, I guess. There's no
Yeah,
more
I know.
than 3.
There's white, black, and brown.
I think they're doing Asian, yeah. So
what happened to Latinos?
They don't fucking
They're just
matter.
not in
Whatever.
this.
Just
They don't live in Colorado.
Just group them with the
Way
Asians.
too cold there.
Yeah,
Screw
that's
with the
true.
Asians or scrub one of the black ones so they get a little faded.
It's not enough
like,
day
it's a
labor.
Latino one.
So what was the other thing someone said that you were saying, or someone said in the article?
What
You
was
were
it?
like, what about elderly?
Oh yeah, that was a great quote. Let me find it.
It was like someone was saying something like, "What about elderly people? What about people in wheelchairs?
Yeah, like what about
wheelchair babies, Down syndrome babies?" Come
Yeah,
on.
he, critic Celiac. He went or Salic. Salic, yeah. Celiac. I think that was in my head still.
Yeah, I think it was.
What about disabled dolls, transgender dolls, deformed or elderly dolls? If they want to include everything, why not these?
Yeah.
Also, there's one other thing in here that's amazing, and it's very vague. I don't know how to interpret this really, but it says each child must have an assigned caregiver.
So is that like a 1-to-1?
No,
there's no way. There is no way. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah, no, that must mean that each child must have one of the
sign
people
Yeah.
assigned to them.
Yeah.
right.
Like
Because I
that-
think the number is 5 in Arizona. Like you have to have 5 every 5
Something
kids.
like
It's
that.
1 in a daycare center.
That would literally be impossible.
Dude, it
if
would
that-
It would solve the unemployment problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just want to say that kids don't care about race at all. It means absolutely nothing.
No, we
only-
make them care about
Yeah,
race.
it only
Exactly.
starts to matter.
Like when you're a
once you
kid,
get
if
Disney
older.
someone's
movies.
black or Mexican or whatever, you don't fucking care at all.
Yeah.
Is this kid funny? Do I want to talk to him?
Does he have cool toys
Will
to
he
play
help
with?
me in my basketball team? Yeah, that.
Yeah, does he have the Technodrome? That's the main reason.
Yep.
All right.
Number 3.
Adult man babies.
That's how I named it. So you want to explain this one? I think you have more familiarity. I have the article.
Well, I've read it, but I don't have more familiarity. But basically, this article was saying that that men are not growing up. They're staying in this kind of like stasis, especially in like their 20s and 30s, where they choose to have a bad job or have no job
like
at all.
Extended adolescence.
Yeah. They basically act like they're in their teenage years.
Like NEET syndrome?
I don't know what that
NEET,
is.
not in employment, education, or training. They basically sit around at home.
Yeah, I mean,
or when they do graduate college, they could still graduate college. They get out and they're just like,
I'm not going to do anything.
I'm just going to sit at home. Fuck this.
And it was about that, but I think that you can go more into detail about like some of the reasons they had or whatever.
Okay, so this is a collegiate study, right, to tell us that we're stupid now. Our generation of
college
men.
makes you smart.
So
apparently.
basically one of their pieces of evidence was that total, like if you take a college and you look at the percentages of males to females, that the male percentage has gone down since 1970.
That's because the female percentage has gone
down. No! Shut up! No, it's not! Shut up!
Yeah, exactly.
You're fucking stupid. You're an adolescent. I'm a professor. I am smart. I have a PhD in common sense.
Yeah. So basically, what they're saying is that
didn't they count like the number of people, not the percentage of people?
No. Basically, what they're saying is that because the percentage has more women than men now, it means that men are lazy, and not the fact that one, there are more women. And two, more women are allowed to go to school and or to pursue higher education in general.
Was the article about being lazy, or was it about people being less intelligent?
No, it's about being less ambitious. I think would be a good way of putting it.
That would be,
Only men, though, not women?
It was just
that's why they only chose men?
It was blaming men, yeah.
Yeah, because the women's percentages are still increasing. You know why? Because they haven't reached their glass ceiling yet. That's why.
Well, the other thing they look at it, too, is like based on college enrollment and stuff. I mean, like, as we've talked about, I'm the only one here without an actual college degree. Now, technically speaking, I should have one. But the point is, though, like, college and ambition are two completely separate things. Like, I know many college people who were the laziest fucking people I ever met, and they didn't care about anything except for getting a job.
Why do old people think
and not doing anything?
College is so important. It's not.
They've been brainwashed.
Well, it's supposed to be a higher learning institution where you critically think about the world around you, but it's just turned into job training.
Maybe the super high, awesome colleges that people pay a lot for. Maybe they're that good. Maybe they're really good. Maybe I don't fucking know. But
I like this quote from the professor, one of the authors. I've spoken with many boys in grades 1 to 3 across the U.S., and they've told me that school is a stupid waste of time.
Grades 1 to 3. Grades 1 to 3.
That's actually the most important grades of all.
Of course
when someone asked you in 3rd grade if you thought school was boring, what the fuck would you say?
I want to play video games.
Was.
I mean, that's what you're going to say.
Yeah, you say it is boring. I don't get to do anything I want to do. I have to sit here.
Okay, we got to move on. I could talk about that thing for
all right. Rupert Murdoch closing the News of the World.
Okay.
And Sky B purchase.
Yes. Okay, so News of the World is an English
most
newspaper.
Successful newspaper in
one of them. Yeah, it's a very high profile.
It was the most successful
for a while. Anyway,
it's like the New York Post. It's for stupid
apparently
people.
There's become there's been a huge scandal involving the editors there hiring private investigators to do things. Apparently, a while back, there was a kidnapping of some girl, and the police were investigating. And News of the World wanted to get a scoop. They hired a private investigator. The investigator hacked into the girl's cell phone voicemails and started deleting things because he wanted to see, if there was a voicemail call, then I could get the scoop before anyone else. Well, the problem was the police thought the girl trying to delete her voicemails, and there was a huge scandal because they thought she was still alive. And anyway, so it came out to realize that the News of the World's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, they've also been covering up. They've been doing celebrities.
Polices, hacking into celebrities' accounts and whatnot. So there's a huge scandal, and of course, they wanted to go after the main editor of News of the World. But instead of doing that, Rupert Murdoch just closed the paper because he wanted a different deal to go through.
Yeah, Sky B, which is
a big news channel.
Yeah, it's a great purchase for News Corp if they get it.
So basically,
it's very profitable.
Instead of holding the editors at News of the World responsible for it, he just sacked the entire newspaper and
Yeah, he's like, well, I could make maybe $1 billion off of News of the World per year, or I could make $8 billion from Sky B.
Do you think that he'll
so I'll
bring
take Sky
the
B.
high people from News of the World over when he...
Probably.
He already did.
He already did?
He already did, yep. All
So
the
he's-
managing
so
editors
he-
that covered this up, when the police were like, what the fuck, I think there's something messed up going on, all those cover-up people, they're going to get to be reassigned to new positions.
So
instead of
really,
going to
the
jail.
point is that he doesn't really care that they did that at all.
No,
he
he doesn't
just,
give a fuck.
he just wanted to protect his own name, so he just shut down an entire
But he
newspaper.
wants the Sky B purchase.
I will say, I bet you there are many other news publications doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
guarantee it.
Of course.
I bet you.
With how lazy the reporters are now?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. So that's number 2.
And number 1
This is sorry.
What? Navy SEAL and Osama bumper stickers.
I've seen a lot of these show up in Arizona. It's basically a black bumper sticker with American flag in the center, and on one side it says Navy SEALs 1, on the other side it says Osama 0. Now, I take offense to this, not because I really particularly care about either of the two parties, but because the score's wrong. The score's wrong. I mean, for example, on June 20th, 2005, 11 Navy SEALs were killed in Operation Red Wing in Afghanistan. So really, isn't it 11-1?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then
Only
that's
11?
Well, that's just one. That's just one. I mean, if you want to go about the other, for example, there's other games played in the series. If you think about it, Osama has, I don't know, let's say 1,610 Americans have been killed since May 26 in Afghanistan. So that's a blowout right there.
Yeah,
or if you want to go to the real blowout, it's September 11th, which is 2,996 to 0.
I challenge the score, because what about all the drone killings? Can we count those
red
kills?
flag?
I challenge. I want some drone killings counted.
But that's not Osama, though.
And it'll be us. It goes towards our score. But they're all the same people. I mean,
so
really,
I want to make one of those bumper stickers that says United States 0, Osama 2,996.
That'd be good.
Just the troll.
You would get shot.
But that's the easiest way to get my car keyed.
You would get shot.
So your car would be done. All right, guys. Well, I only have one question for you.
Where's Caylee?
Is it over?
It is over. Yes. That's it for the 10th episode of the Tipping 40's podcast. Thanks for listening. And as usual, if you want to send us a message, it's podcast@tipping40s.com, or leave us a voicemail at 218-666-8407. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.